Do not be that person that traumatizes other people, that traumatizes other children because of your own insecurities and how you grew up. How you grew up, you're not responsible for that. That was shit, and I'm sorry you experienced that. And I know that I'm not responsible for the way that I grew up and what I was told as a child. What I am responsible now as a grown adult, as a 21-year-old woman, is how I go about life, how I treat others, and how I treat myself. And that's what I'm going to focus on. You will feel so comfortable and so confident within yourself that you will see another beautiful woman and you will say, wow, she's gorgeous, and keep it moving without it affecting your confidence or the way that you love yourself or the way that you show up for yourself. And that is normal. That is the normal way. That is how we should all think. This looking at myself and sighing after seeing a beautiful woman is crazy. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about the topic of self-love and how to truly find that within yourself and for yourself. And I think it's a relevant topic currently just because I have been preparing to go to New York Fashion Week, and it's just crazy because I never in my life would have thought I would be modeling, and that was part of my self-love journey. But I also really want this to be for girls that don't find representation every time they look at something, or just aren't fitting into that beauty standard that has been set upon us. And I think it's something that I really struggled with for so long, honestly, up until recently. And just overall growing up different, growing up in suburbia where you're surrounded by, the blonde hair, blue-eyed girls, and you are, the little brown girl, or, it could be something else for everybody, but for me, that was my experience. So we have a lot to unpack, and overall, I thought I would make it about just finding self-love physically, really appreciating the way that you look and enjoying the way that you look, and not giving a single fuck about what a beauty standard is or what people have created to be the standard beauty, because honestly, just saying it out loud, it sounds so ridiculous. I don't know why that's a thing, but we're gonna debug it, and I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about my journey, and I'm gonna give some advice as well, because I feel like one of the best ways to learn is through others' experiences and just hearing how they deal with things, which is why we even make these types of videos. So I think self-love really starts at a young age. It starts when you're a kid, right? What you're fed, what you're told, what if you're given words of encouragement. And for me, I did not experience that positively growing up. It was actually really quite the opposite. I faced a lot of colorism within my childhood, and also a lot of featureism, where I would be told that my nose was too big, or my hair was too kinky, or I literally would just go out in the sun in the summer and I'd be told to go back inside because I didn't want to turn into charcoal. And this was told to me by family members, it was told to me by my neighbors, it was told to me by just an entire community of other Black people. And I wasn't the only one that was told this. I would hear it being said over and over again to other kids too. And it was just a really harsh way to grow up, where I genuinely hated my hair. It was so demonized and seen as such a negative thing to have curls, and I think that came from a lot of anti-Blackness. So I would genuinely strain it every single day. I did not stop straining my hair until sophomore year of high school, and I'm now a rising senior in college, and even then I had phases where I would go back to straightening it. But really, I would just try and change everything about myself. I was like, okay, I'm too dark, I'm staying out the sun. At some point, literally would consider bleaching my skin. I remember like looking into it. I was like, my lips are too big, I want smaller lips. Like, how could I get smaller lips? Okay, my hair is too curly, it's too kinky, like I'm gonna straighten it all the time. I would literally try and find ways. I would put so much effort into how I can change myself, because that's what I was kind of told. I was told that the way that I wasn't enough, or it wasn't perfect, or it wasn't ideal. And so I was like, okay, nobody likes the way I look, so I'm going to change it. And it's insane, because now I'm literally a model. Like, now I'm literally sought out for my looks. That's kind of why I wanted to film this video, because I was just baffled the other day. I was like, wow, like this is crazy. And I got like a flashback from I think 6 years ago today. I don't know, it was a really long time ago. I think it was like 2016 or something on Snap, and it was just like me literally like being like, time to straighten my hair. I learned how long it's gonna take, like, and it just made me so sad. And honestly, every time I look back at like my high school experience, especially that early part, but especially middle school, I literally could cry for little me, because I'm just like, I was working so hard to change who I was when that's not what I should have been focusing on. I should have been focusing on like freaking what I'm gonna eat tomorrow, or like not even that, just like whatever kids focus on, like, you know what I mean, like what new toys coming out. But instead I was watching YouTube videos on how to change myself. And I think it's really a self-healing journey, but I think one of the ways that I found myself trying to constantly change myself was also my environment and who I was around, and what I considered to be beautiful myself. Obviously, I had all this negative, upbringing within my looks, but at some point I was like, I'm now responsible for the way that I continue my life and the way that I consider myself to look. I could go down this path of constantly changing myself and chasing this image that I will never ever be, no matter how much I change or try to change myself. Or I could truly just look back and truly find the beauty within myself as a Black woman. And Black women are so beautiful. It was never for me an issue of other people. It was always me. Like, I would never look at another person that looked like me and be like, she needs to change that. I would actually be like, wow, I wish I could wear my hair out. Like, I wish I could wear my curls. Like, I wish I could go and tan. Like, I wish I could do that, and that. But I like felt so like out of place to do that almost, you know? So for me, it took a lot of self-reflection. But the first thing that I really did was I started following people that looked like me. You guys, representation is such a huge aspect of beauty and like what you consider to be beautiful. If you're constantly staring at somebody who looks absolutely nothing like you are going to constantly feel insecure. It makes no sense for me to follow like somebody who, like, I don't know, has blonde hair, extremely white, like blue eyes, and like just look at what they do and be like, oh, I wish I could look like her. Because why would I? Honestly, why would I? What good would that do for me? But also, that's not what I want. Like, you know what I mean? That's not even what I want. I genuinely, at this point, have so much love for myself and respect for myself that I'm like, if I were to follow somebody like that, it would not be because of the look that they have. It would be because of what they put out into the world. Like, if I'm going to, learn something from them or something like that, or if I like their outfits or something like that, that's a completely different thing. But to be following people that, look nothing like you and constantly staring at that, you're going to feel like shit about yourself. And that's why I genuinely would highly recommend following people that look like you, following them so that you can see how they style their hair and you can get inspiration from that. And that will really make you feel so empowered. It'll give you that representation, and it'll just overall make you feel better about yourself. And it helps me a lot. It seems like a simple thing, but really genuinely it helps so much. And I always find inspiration with other Black women that I follow, and I highly recommend doing that, for one. But two, it's about a lot of inner work as well. You know what I mean? It's a lot of you unlearning bad things, or like what you consider to be beautiful. And it's a lot of just learning how to take care of yourself. So for one, my hair was a big thing. I always would just straighten it because I never, for one, knew how to take care of it, but also because I was told that it was ugly. Like, you know what I mean? It just wasn't a cute hair style. I don't know. You get the point. It wasn't a good hair texture. But one, I really never learned how to style my hair. I never knew how to style curly hair. I was the only one with like curly, super curly hair in my family. Everybody in my family had like 2C hair at most, so they didn't really need to like use curly hair products. They didn't need to use specific brushes. They didn't need to do protective hairstyles. I had the like kinkiest hair out of all my family members. And so I was just like, well, she's brushing her hair, I'm just gonna brush it too. But of course it would go into an afro, and then I was like, well, straightener it is. So a lot of that for me was just learning how to take care of my hair and making it look beautiful to me. You know what I mean? And so I would try new hairstyles. I would experiment with it, and there's so much joy with just experimenting with your looks. So I would do things like that. But also, again, it took a lot of deprogramming and genuinely being like, it's not ugly to be dark. I know that just sounds crazy, but you guys, if you grew up in that type of environment, you will genuinely believe that those things, like whatever you're told from childhood, is genuinely what you believe, and that's genuinely what I believed for a long time. I had to deprogram myself and really consider those things, and I would genuinely look in the mirror sometimes, and I would just have to like tell myself, like hype myself up, like you're beautiful, you're this, you're that, you're that. And it helps. Like, it's as cringe as it sounds, like really it does help. Just looking in the mirror and telling yourself you are that bitch really makes you feel like that bitch. So I would do it. I would do it all the time. But when it really came down to it, for me, it was just the logical thing to do. It was like, if everybody is genuinely shitting on me as a person because of the way that I was born, because of the way that literally God created me himself, who am I to continue that? Who am I to bring myself down even further? If nobody is your fan, you should be your biggest fan. You are stuck with yourself for life. You are you until the day that you die. From the day that you were born till the day that you die, you are you, and you are in this body, and you are going to look this way. So why are you wasting all that energy trying to change yourself, trying to look like this person, trying to act like this person, when you can genuinely be you? And I know it's almost like such a logical thing. It's like, well, duh, but you have to really put in that effort to make yourself think that way and reprogram your brain, because I know nobody hates themselves just for shits and giggles. Nobody like doesn't feel comfortable in the way that they look just for fun. It's something that is programmed within you. It's something that you've been told over and over again, or like experiences that you've had that made you feel that way, or maybe being on the internet and just looking at all these gorgeous people and being like, dang, you know what I mean? Like, there's that comment all over TikTok, and it's like whenever they see a attractive woman post, there's always a comment that I hate, that I always see in the comments, and it's like, looked at myself inside. Oh my god. Like, are we serious? I get it's like a joke and it's like a way to hype this person up, but it's bullshit. It's such a shit thing to say, but it's also such a real experience. Genuinely, I mean, I've experienced it myself. I know so many women in this world, and men, everybody has experienced this. Genuinely, like looking at the internet and like stalking that one model girl, whatever, and just being like, oh, dang. Like, you know what I mean? So that's why it goes back to that point of representation and like following people that look like you. But also, you should, at some point, once you like put in this work, you will feel so comfortable and so confident within yourself that you will see another beautiful woman and you will say, wow, she's gorgeous, and keep it moving without it affecting your, you know, your confidence or the way that you love yourself or the way that you show up for yourself. And that is normal. That is the normal way. That is how we should all think. This looking at myself and sighing after seeing a beautiful woman is crazy. It's crazy. It should not be normalized. It's not okay. I don't know why people comment that and then get like 40,000 likes on that comment. It's insanity. And I hope you know that the way that you're speaking about yourself and commenting this, even though it's a joke, it's a self-deprecating joke. It's not funny. Even if it started off as a joke, I promise you it's not. You're not going to be kikiing and laughing in a bit once you genuinely feel that way about yourself. And so another thing that really truly helped me was like words of affirmation. Looking at myself in the mirror and telling myself, wow, I look beautiful. There was a time in my life where I would look in the mirror and I genuinely would just, I would literally, this sounds crazy, but I would literally point out 80 different flaws. Like, I would literally look at myself and I'd just be like, and that is not it, and this and that, oof, and I need to do this, ugh, I need to work out more. Like, it was crazy. And then I would just walk out of there and I'd just be like, anyways. But that has a psychological effect on you, and now you're genuinely not going to feel confident. You're going to feel like shit about yourself. Instead, why not change that negative thought to a positive one? Instead of pointing out your flaws, why not point out what you find beautiful about yourself, like your little freckles, or the way you smile, or the way your eyes squint? Like, why not point those things out about yourself rather than these self-deprecating, like, terrible things about yourself, or like how you need to lose weight, or how you need to, you know, get this, or how you need to get that? Like, that's just not productive, and it's not helping you at the end of the day. Like, if we're really thinking logically, why are you doing 0 minus 0 when you can do 1 plus 1? Like, you know what I mean? You're not, or actually you're going into the negatives. It's not even equal to 0. You're going negative. So why not go positive and add something valuable to your life and to yourself and to your image and the way that you feel about yourself, your overall confidence? It's really just, sometimes if you think about it, sometimes you're just like again, like, duh, of course I should do that. But it's the act of doing it that really is important, and the act of just you looking at yourself and being like, I look beautiful today. I love my outfit. I love that this, and this. And if you're a forgetful person, sometimes you just have to write it on a sticky note and just literally put it on your mirror. That is how I had started off. But really, genuinely, you guys, it comes down to just learning about yourself, having that representation, figuring out how to style your hair or how to work with what your body type, how to style your clothes, and gaining that confidence. But also really just finding self-love through just the way you speak and the way that you talk about yourself out in public with your friends. Do not make that self-deprecating joke. Don't say you're this, and that. Don't say that. Instead, you could say something positive like, wow, I like my outfit today, whatever. And it sounds cringe, and I know I cringed too, guys. Like, I cringed too, but like, now it actually works, and like, I'm happy and I feel good about myself, and I love the way that I look, and I love the way that, you know, God created me, and I don't care if I get darker. In fact, I go and get darker on my own. I literally go and tan, and I love it, and I think it's beautiful, and it evens out my skin, and I don't understand why people would ever tell a child to get out of the sun. I don't understand. I actually had to cut off a friend of mine about 2 years ago because she was a dark-skinned black woman, and she made a joke about, like, a colorist joke, where she was like, oh, well, if you married a person of this skin tone, your kids won't be dark, so that's good at least. And I was just like, who on earth says that? Who on earth says that? Like, what is wrong with you? And until this day, she's probably still that way. But I personally cut her off, and I was just like, at your grown-ass age of 20 years old, you're not about to tell me about an unborn child's, my unborn child's skin tone, and saying, well, at least you won't be dark. Like, that's just so crazy to me. So if anything pushes you, just push yourself to be not that person. Do not be that person that traumatizes other people, that traumatizes other children because of your own insecurities and how you grew up. How you grew up, you're not responsible for that. That was shit, and I'm sorry you experienced that. And I know that I'm not responsible for the way that I grew up and what I was told as a child. What I am responsible now as a grown adult, as a 21-year-old woman, is how I go about life, how I treat others, and how I treat myself, and that's what I'm going to focus on. But otherwise, the rest is up to you. And those are things that you're going to have to work on yourself. Those are traumas you're going to have to unlearn. Those are, you know, manifestations you're going to have to manifest, and, you know, just finding yourself overall. But yeah, it's crazy, and you never know where you'll end up in life. I mean, little old me would have never thought I'd be modeling ever in my life, and I literally got scouted, and now I'm modeling, and that's just how life works sometimes, you know? It's funny. If anybody hasn't told you yet today, you absolutely look beautiful, and I know you do, and I don't need to see you to know that you look beautiful, because genuinely there's beauty within every single person on earth. And I just, yeah, I really hope that you take the next steps to really truly find that self-love, and I hope that you are comfortable in your body, and if you're not, I hope you reach that comfort, and I know you will reach that comfort. And this journey is different for everybody. It has a lot of bumps, and it's, you know, some days you feel super confident and like you're feeling yourself, and some days you're like, ugh, this is not it. And that's okay. That's just a part of life, you guys. Nothing is perfect. Your confidence is not forever gonna go this way. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna fluctuate, and that's normal. Everything in life is going to fluctuate, but at the end of the day, you just have to keep those reminders to yourself, and you have to just, you know, keep loving yourself, because self-love is the best love, truly. That's all I have for today, you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.